The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need. The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement. The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement.
All right, how are you doing, Daphne? You're muted. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can't hear you. I don't know. Can you come up again?
Hello.
Hello, hi, Daphne. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you here too. Thank you.
All right, we'll be starting in a few. I'm just waiting for a moderator to check in. Then we can start off. How is it going? How is business? How is work?
Yeah, everything's fine. Besides that, life is always hectic.
Work is hectic.
Yeah, life is always hectic.
All life,
You're
all life.
always, yeah, life.
Mm,
You're always putting out fires.
oh, absolutely. That's very true. So we'll just give it like a few minutes, then we'll begin when our, our moderator joins, as well as we wait for our participants to join.
Okay.
So I think I can see Lawrence is here, so we'll just start in like a like 2 minutes, then we
Okay.
can go off. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Where are these people going?
Hey, Will, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can
It's only
anyone
that
hear me?
Yes.
yes, we can hear you, but we can't see your face. Okay. Florence, how are you doing? How is work?
Work is okay. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's good so far, so good. Nothing much to complain about.
Okay. Are you putting out fires the way Daphne was just telling us? She's been putting out a lot of fires.
No fires for me. Just a lot of marketing things, photo shoot, and all those other things that you schedule and you have to follow through on. So you are very busy all the whole day. Like I just got home a few moments ago. I had to rush back. Yeah.
Oh, interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's nice to hear. Okay, so I think we can begin. Maybe, okay, Daphne, let me call you by that name. That these other names are a bit.
Oh, when you said Daphne, you're talking about Kekelet, so I thought it was someone
Yeah, yeah,
else.
yeah. She's the one. So maybe
We
show on your camera, then we start.
yes, that would be good.
I don't know. She dropped. Let me just so she can join again.
Okay. But I had seen her. I saw her camera on a few moments ago.
Yeah, I don't know what's the challenge.
Okay. Maybe she can try restarting her machine or phone.
She's back. I think she's back.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi,
Hello.
Daphne. Can switch on your camera. We start.
No, my bandwidth is very bad. Mm.
You're saying something? It has to be an issue with the internet. So let me just hope it's not going to disturb her a lot. Just try reach her. she goes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Daphne. You can switch on your camera.
I think my network is very bad, so the camera is affecting the bandwidth.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I've tried to make the placeholder small. Maybe try again. We see if it will affect.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think that can work. So yeah, I think we can start because of time. We need to make sure this ends within our within the scheduled time. But before 9, we should be ending the discussion. So yeah, let me just start straight. So tonight we're going to have a very interesting topic. That's the data-driven workforce. And before that, let me also introduce Digitech today, whereby this today's session is powered by Digitech Today. So Digitech Today basically it's a startup, and we've been doing these such kind of trainings, master classes for the past like 2 year, almost 2 years now. So basically, Digitech Today we empower young professionals, small business owners, marketers on key digital skills from social media marketing, graphics design skills, personal branding, storytelling, the data analysis, data analytics, reporting, all round digital marketing knowledge and skills that they need to be able to scale either career wise or business wise. And so today we have an interesting panel. That is, our speaker is Daphne Kekeletso, who is a senior. Yes, senior data scientist, and your moderator is Florence. Florence is a very well renowned marketing and communication strategist, as well. She's also a journalist in the field that she does. So we'll make our conversation very interactive. Feel free to ask anything within the chat section or the comment section. We are live on both LinkedIn and YouTube at the moment, so as you ask the questions, we'll be able to stream them live and see how we can just make sure we get answers to all of them before our time runs out. So without much ado, I'll invite our moderator to take over the session. Welcome, Florence.
Thank you so much, Don. Welcome, all our viewers. Today's theme, as he's mentioned, is the data driven workforce, and we are specifically focusing on why every career today demands analytical thinking. And joining us is Keleketso, who is an expert in the data field. So I just want to leave it to you to take it away. And my first question to you is, maybe you can begin by explaining to us what data analytics means in today's, especially in today's workplace, because today's theme is in relation to career. So you may go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Florence, and thank you, Wilfred. And yes, I'm a data scientist, but what I want to bring tonight is not a lecture on data science. I think that will be boring for the audience, but I want to talk about thinking. How about the habits that allow any professional, wherever they are sitting in any field, to make better decisions and
I think we lost her. The internet must be
hello.
very. Hello. Yeah, I think you can just proceed without the video.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
yes.
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So as I was saying,
Hmm.
hello.
Yes,
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 we
we
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
Oh, okay. So I think I'll have to disable my video because the bandwidth is very bad here.
Okay.
But as I was saying, in my daily work, I get to see these things and I get to see what the presence or the absence of the habits of analytical thinking costs to organization. So I'm here tonight to share my learnings with the audience. So as Florence has asked, I would frame analytical thinking as, or especially in the workplace, as the ability to look at the information that is presented before you, any information in any form. So from that information, you'd have to maybe not even go deep into it, but be able to reason clearly about what it does not. So you should be able to be asking probing questions like, is this what appears to be? What is the information that that is presented in front of me? What is missing here? And what should we change as a result of this? And this is not actually about deriving insights or about calculation. It is about the quality of the reasoning that you put forth when you are confronted with evidence. So I think that quality nowadays applies in a hospital ward, in, f- before the nurse and the doctor, in a courtroom, before the judge and the lawyer, for the teacher and the learner, and in every other area, especially the financial services across the continent.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ketso. I think that is clear. And what would you say are the common misconceptions about analytical thinking?
To be honest, Florence, there are a number of misconceptions about analytical thinking, but the biggest one of them is people tend to think that it requires technical training, that people need to love mathematics and be mathematically fluent for them to hold the skill, or maybe they should know some sort of software, or maybe have a qualification maybe in statistics. But that is not true, and none of those things I think are required. And
So
the
basically,
second
yeah,
yeah, and the
continue.
second misconception is that this skill is innate, and that just some people are just naturally analytical and others are not. You know, these things you see online about birth dates and whatever, and also that analytical thinking is is only relevant for complex and high stake decisions, while in reality it is the most valuable in the hundreds of maybe small, minute, and also routine decisions that people make every day, every single day when they get to work and have to decide what they have to do because they have flashing meetings on their cameras, to make an example.
Okay. Okay, I think that's clear. So basically, if I'm understanding you correctly, you say that analytical thinking means how we approach complex problems and maybe dissect them into smaller ones that are more manageable. Would you say that is correct?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. Analytical
So
thinking is just a set of it's something that you can learn. It's something that you can practice. Like
Mm.
every morning when you do your affirmations, maybe that could be that you can turn that into your analytical thinking habits. Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, how is analytical thinking different from simply working with data?
Working with data is, I think it's an activity. It's
Mm-hmm.
what you wake up to go and do. But analytical thinking is disposition. You can sit in front of a spreadsheet full of data and not think analytically at all, if you get
Mm-hmm.
me. If you
Mm-hmm.
are simply reading what is there and you're not interrogating, you're not asking what it means, not testing whether the conclusion you are drawing is supported or not. Yeah, that is not an analytical thinking. Maybe that
I
Mm-hmm.
is
definitely.
working with data.
Okay.
However, a nurse observing a patient's behavior over a shift and then without a spreadsheet inside can be thinking with extraordinary analytical rigor. So data
Okay.
is the raw material. That is what we work with when we saying you are working with data. But analytical thinking is what you do with the data that is presented in front of you.
Okay. I think that is
Yes.
clear. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daphne. So, in your opinion, why has analytical thinking become such a critical skill in recent years? Did you get that?
Yes, I did get it. Thank you.
Okay.
So I think everyone would have seen how the world is evolving, how quickly it is evolving, how everything changes. So you would see that a lot of things have converged. The volume of information available to every professional has exploded. If you take an instance of maybe a regional manager working somewhere, maybe in a financial services firm a decade ago, they were able to review one monthly report, but recently they have access to real-time dashboards, client feedback streams, competitor data, and market analytics. So the information is here. The information has arrived. The
Mm-hmm.
question is whether the thinking to use it well has arrived alongside it.
Okay. I think
Decision cycles have compressed. Now everything is quick. You have to make decisions faster. You have to move faster as the world is moving. If you are taking baby steps, you might find that the world will leave you behind.
yeah.
So, with the pressure that is rising, let's not also uh, be overtaken by the pressure to shortcut reasoning, because that is
Okay.
exactly where poor decisions are born. And analytical thinking is what prevents that shortcutting from becoming costly. And also, we have AI now, but we'll come
Yes.
back to it. But I wanted to say AI has made the ability to interrogate outputs very easy. You don't just receive outputs. You interrogate them, which is a genuine professional survival skill nowadays. Yeah.
Okay, I think you make some good points, especially about AI and how it's made it easier for people maybe to raise some questions and emphasize on the importance of analytical thinking as opposed to just moving with the data as you see it. So thank you for that response. Which would have been my next question. What key changes have accelerated this change in the recent changes with the critical analytical thinking, which you've answered? Then we move on to the next question. Do you see a permanent shift in how it's done, with the introduction to AI and all this other evolution that we are seeing, especially in the digital sector?
Completely permanent. Because this is not just a trend, it's a structural change in what professional work means.
Okay.
So, to simplify it, the analogy that I would use is literacy. If we could go back when the printing press arrived, literacy shifted from being a specialist skill held by the clerical and scribes to a baseline expectation for full participation in the economic and civic life. Analytical thinking is making that same transition right now. It is moving from a specialist skill held by data teams to a baseline expectation that we expect every professional to possess. And I don't think, evidently, a shift like that does not reverse.
Okay. I think that's clear. Thank you. So, like, if you were to walk in, as you're walking on the street and someone comes up to you and asks you what analytical thinking is, based on all that you've told us since we began this talk, how would you explain it to them in a way that they understand? Assuming it's someone who's not a white collar professional, and in terms of its importance as well.
It's kind of
Yeah, this is what I mean. We've discussed analytical thinking, its importance, and the evolution that has taken place in terms of AI and all the digital revolution that we are seeing. So, just to summarize it to our viewers, what would you say in simple terms is analytical thinking?
like the ability to sit down with the resources that you have that are at disposal for you, interrogate them,
Okay.
um, gather some information, investigate what that information tells you, compare it to some of the other sources that you have, and then also from what you have now as a result, make decisions. I would say analytical thinking is being able to make decisions that are backed by data, if you get me, that are
Yes.
backed by information. By data, I'm not talking about the raw information, but what you have in front of you should back your decisions.
I just
Yeah.
wanted you to make that clear so that we don't lose our audience and they understand the importance of data, of analytics and analytical thinking. So, what is the cost of ignoring analytical thinking? What are the risks for professionals who maybe don't develop analytical skills?
I think, oh, not think. Well, the most immediate risk is irrelevance. We're not saying your profession or your skill will be redundant. We are saying it's the decisions, the role that you'll be holding, the the impact that you'll be making in the organization will be irrelevant, because as organizations embed more data into their decision making, professionals who cannot engage with that data, who cannot engage with the evidence presented before them, who cannot read a report critically or interrogate a recommendation or ask the right questions of the analysis, will find themselves increasingly excluded from the decisions that matter. And
Okay.
if you look at it, the longer term risk is that the gap compounds. Every year or every minute you do not build the habit, it becomes slightly harder to start and slightly more expensive to the organization. organization to have you at the table for strategic conversations, if I may put it lightly.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much for that response. Don, do you have anything you'd like to add or ask?
Maybe just in line with what you're talking about. How can, like, in terms of small businesses, because I know some of these things, like when you talk about data analytics, you mentioned something regards to, in line with there's been misconception that most people imagine that data analytics, it's only regarded with big firms, big organizations who are able to hire data analysts. But then you mentioned that's not the thing. This thing is something that is readily available. Even small businesses can tap into. It's also something that it's not just there set for those who are good mathematicals. The the kind of complex interpretations you mentioned, that's not the real thing. So ideally, how can really small businesses tap into data, this data analytics to ensure that they can scale and not be irrelevant in the in the growing market in today's business? You're a bit
We
low.
have, hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
can very well.
Okay. Um, for small businesses, and maybe a startup out there, I would advise that there's information everywhere. Information is at everyone's disposal. Just go on the web, go look at the market trends of the industry that you are taking, because there are different sectors in terms of the business. So if you are in healthcare and providing healthcare services, go up in there. Go look up the industry trends, go look up how your peers in the business are performing, how their growth strategy has helped them, and how they are evolving of recent. Now, with all that information gathered, data or analytical thinking will help you to make strategic decisions towards how you implement a strategy that is going to grow you in the near future. Also, look at the geopolitical issues around you and the macroeconomic factors affecting your sector and your peers in the whole ecosystem. So, looking at the data and um, interrogating it, and also trying to sit down with it and understanding how it's you from where you are sitting, that would help your business to scale a lot, and also be proactive in terms of thinking ahead and providing and provisioning for the risks that are foreseen.
Okay, I think that's a good answer. And thank you. Thank you for explaining that in detail and also for our audience as well. That makes a lot of sense. So, even as someone who works in marketing, we are always analyzing the data that we collect. Maybe you have the graph and you do the advertisements, and you have to analyze it and see where what went well and what didn't, so then you know where to put your focus. So you kind of have to have that analytical thinking where you are not just looking at raw data, but you're able to understand it and maybe compound it into smaller parts and know what to do moving forward. So thank you so much for that, Kelukit. So then I just wanted to ask you, have you had examples where people ignored analytical thinking and maybe had a poor outcome?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, yes. My question to you is, Have you had an incident or an instant where people have ignored analytical thinking and have had poor outcomes, or can you think of such an example?
Okay.
Yes.
If you look at the African context, or how we Africans, and please forgive me, operate, we make decisions first and then the analysis comes later. So I have seen a number of programs being built entirely on assumptions about what clients value, assumptions on that have never been tested against actual usage data. And if you look at it, the programs were expensive, well intentioned, and eventually largely ineffective because they were solving for what leadership assumed clients wanted rather than what the data showed what clients actually needed. When
Okay.
the analysis was finally run, in cases where the analysis was run later, because in some instances we just consider that a failure and not go back to the drawing board to see where we failed. So when you go back to the drawing board and see where the failure occurred and the analysis is finally findings contradicted almost every assumption. Decisions had been made before the evidence had been examined. And if you think about it, even where you're sitting, that is not rare. And in my experience, it is the norm in organizations, for organizations without a strong analytical thinking culture.
Yes, and I will take you back to today's theme, why every career today demands analytical thinking. Can you talk more about that, maybe in terms of how we apply analytical thinking to advance our careers or even as professionals in our day to day lives?
Okay. I think you need to develop some of the habits, but the habits that stand out for me are it's the three. I think they are key for me, and when these are the habits of interrogating the data to ask when you have information and this is what it's presenting, you can ask compared to what. Every number that a person presents needs a reference point. So if we say, for instance, if we're taking a 20% increase, we may believe that it's good news. But is it compared to what? Compared to last year? Compared to the forecast? Or compared to what competitors achieved? Or compared to what you spent generated? Without a comparison, numbers are noise. Data is noise. Make this a reflex. I think people need to develop that skill to make this a reflex in every meeting, in every setting, in every decision that they make. For every report, for every conversation where data appears, this should be a reflexive question compared to
Yes.
what. And then I think people need to practice calibrated uncertainty.
Okay.
The most
Lovely.
analytically sharp professionals are completely comfortable saying, I do not know. So it should be something that we should be able to take with us to say, I do not know. And also being able to say, I will do this to find out. Because performing certainty is not analytical thinking, but honest uncertainty paired with inquiry is. And also the other reflex that I would nudge everyone to form is So what? Now this is presented before me. I see it. I have an encounter with this data. The automatic question should be, so what? What should change? What does this inform? What decision does this inform? And if your analysis cannot, or the analysis in front of you cannot answer that question, then the analysis is incomplete. Then that's where comes that um, comfort of saying, I do not know, but I will do this and that to find out what can happen.
Thank you. I think you made a very important sentence as you spoke. Without comparison, numbers are noise, or without comparison, data is noise. And I've had that from one of the managers I had previously. And when I would present like data from a campaign, for example, in marketing, she would always say, if you have nothing to compare it to, then there's no point in reviewing the data because you don't know, you're not able to analyze, which brings it into focus, the analytical thinking. So thank you for
That's
that.
very accurate. Mm,
Yes,
A quick
yes.
one. Let
yes,
me
yes,
let me
yes,
just
please.
jump in.
Okay.
Yes, my it's not like I have blackout. My video lights kind of misbehaved. So let me just ask this. Maybe you we was maybe within just in brief. Daphne, do you think AI? I know you have mentioned about AI, but do you think in your analogy, AI is going to shrink the talent that you've been seeing in terms of data analysts or data analytics? Do you think like guys are now going to depend more on AI rather than also they are now just taking time to interpret information and come out with insights? Do you think that's going to AI is also going to affect, or do you think it's actually going to enhance the creativity behind data analytics?
But I think it's going to make them more confident. It's going to allow them to make confident and or authoritative analysis, and it's making that available to everyone, and that is happening at no cost because we have access to LLMs and other AI components totally at free cost. So you can ask an AI tool to analyze a data set, identify patterns, build a model, write a report, and it will do it. It will do it. And it will do that very much fluently and sometimes correctly. But the question also goes back to say, who is equipped to tell the difference between the times when it is correct and the times when it is wrong? And I think that is the new frontier. It's not doing the analysis. AI has done the analysis, but now we have this someone who has the ability to interrogate the analysis that AI has done. This person who has the experience.
We lost you. We lost you.
Is it, can we make decisions based on it? Is it accurate? Is it something that I can rely on? So yeah, AI is doing something that we have never seen before. It's instead of replacing or yes, instead of replacing people or bring that scare that it's going to take people's jobs, we believe it's enhancing and making everyone interacting with it more confident in the role that they play.
Wow,
Okay.
interesting. There is a question for you. Florence, you can shoot it.
Yes, I can see someone also asks, can anyone have analytical thinking or can it be taught? Just got my answer. This is a misconception.
Um, to answer it simply, I would say it's practice. Like I said, it's practice, it's being consistent with it. It's it's taking it one day at a time to say, before I make this decision, do I have enough information? Do I have the data to back it up? So to start to answer it simply, I would say yes, it's learned, but it's not something that you learn through a course. It's something that you learn through a habit. It's something that you do deliberately. It's repeated practice, and it's attached to something that you already do. So I would say my recommendation is to start with one meeting, where that one meeting that you have every week, and commit to asking at least one analytical question in that session. Maybe it could be, where did you get this information? Where did this trend, where did you get this trend? What are we comparing this
Mm.
to? What would have to be true for this conclusion? And I think over time, those questions become reflexive, and they stop requiring conscious effort. And that is when the habit, you say, I have genuinely built the habit of analytical thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, I think what Mosa meant is that you've answered at the end of her comment. She said that she got her answer. It's a misconception that the analytical thinking is limited to maybe data scientists or specific people. So I think that's clear. Thank you so much. Keleket, so let me ask you the difficult question that Don may have floated earlier. You see, with many fields, like now we work in maybe marketing where we do some copywriting. There may be concerns that AI may replace people, or it may, in your opinion, because today we're talking about career, is there a worry about AI replacing data scientists? Is that a concern?
Um, no, I don't think. Oh, well, I do not believe AI will replace data scientists. But conversely, I believe it produces answers, and those answers are confident, they are well structured, and they are well formatted. So you if you think about it, some of those answers are wrong. Some of those answers are based on data that does not reflect the context that you are trying to drive. And there are some biases, there are some biases that you would find are not invisible in the output. Now, this is where the data scientist will come. This is where um, they will receive that AI output, and not act on it because it looks authoritative, but they will interrogate it. And looking at the extensive analysis that the data scientists do in terms of the data, what patterns do we see, and the insights that we can derive, what conclusions can be made here. So with AI, you are able to ask that. Therefore, to simplify it, I would say the human judgment will still be needed.
So,
The
as
data science. Hello?
yes, yes, that's fine. Please continue. Sorry about that.
Okay. Because the data scientist will ask questions like, where did this conclusion come from?
Mm-hmm.
What assumptions did the model make? Does this account for the specific cases that the training data could know? So AI does not make um, data scientists or anyone obsolete. I think it raises the stakes of thinking and also interacting with data. And now that we're talking about analytical thinking, it's making the analytical thinking, it raises the stakes of analytical thinking to the highest point in history.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
My take, maybe to interject a bit, my take is, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, yes, yes.
I always say that AI will not replace, okay, is not yet replace the human labor, but on the other hand, if you look at it, it will replace those who are not skilled to use the AI. So it's a matter of learning also how to use AI. Like in today's era, you see people using ChatGPT, but you need to learn how to prompt it, how to challenge it. Because if you don't challenge AI in terms of how you prompt it, it will give you similar results to how it has given to 1 million other people in the world. So, for example, you're doing a thesis or you're doing something that needs your keenness to it, like let's say even something like data analytics. This is something that you need to dive in and really get proper insights. But if you're just like you're going there like, oh, I have this, what's your input towards this, so it will give you similar results to just junky stuff that's not really helpful. And so if you're going to use those results to go to like a serious executive meeting and give out such insights, then you look so redundant. But if you use it to challenge it and really get out something also you can back up with reference points, then it will make your work easier.
Yeah, I agree with you, Don. AI is just here to optimize our work. It's not here to replace us, and you really have to learn how to move with it. And we've seen it, especially even with analytical thinking and across our careers. If you're building a website, when you Google anything now, the first thing that comes up is going to be an AI generated Gemini. So it pulls data from different websites and gives you answers. So you really have to understand answer engine optimization and how you're going to optimize it for AI. And I'm sure the same applies for analytical thinking. So yes, I agree with you. It is not here to replace us. It's here to work with us.
Absolutely, and I think when you spoke about answer engine optimization, I was like, yeah, like when the approach to SEO has really changed from what you used to know previously. It
True.
is going to now the answer engine, to what you talk of the generative engine optimization. So
Correct.
the dynamics are changing, and so it's all about now the skills in the market, understanding how to move with those trends and how to apply them. That's the only way it's going to work for you.
Yes, yes. And we really have to be evolutionary in terms of how we approach this. I see another question. We seem to have dropped Keleketso. We seem to have lost her, sorry.
I think she is here. Let me in the waiting room. Yeah, she's here. So
Keleketso,
we
can you hear
have,
us?
we have 5 minutes, guys.
Yes, we do. And let me float this question. Keleketso, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Daphne? Okay,
Um,
I think I'll just go ahead and read the question. Maybe she can join us as we continue. So Masili asks, I feel much of what AI is intended to do is improve efficiency and not necessarily solely perform the tasks from start to finish.
I think it's more of a comment.
Yes, that's a comment, not a question. But yes, I agree. It improves efficiency, and if you rely too heavily on AI, you're going to see that you will find, as you've said, you'll find redundancy in its responses, and also your work will not be optimal. You may have some gaps, especially in your particular field. It may miss nuances and context and that kind of thing, but it's good to work with it and
Mm.
just use it to optimize your work as opposed to just dumping your prompts and expecting it to give you a refined text maybe for your website or whatever it is that you're doing. And I see something else. Greetings. I'm enjoying the data conversation. A quick one. What is the role of data in an industry or market that is saturated? For instance, we have websites being created from as low as 5K per website, others charging north of 5,000, um, 5, 500,000? Sorry, just a
Five.
moment. 5 per website, where
Yeah.
others are charging north of 100,000.
Yeah. Well, let me just finish. What is the role of data in determining the market to serve? Should one undercharge to attract more, or I would love to, okay, or what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts around that. Kekereto, we lost again.
We lost. We have a question. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Daphne, you're back. Good to have you back. We just have a question for you.
Can you hear? Yeah. Yes, she can hear us. Can you hear us? The internet must be very bad, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try again. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
Hello,
you.
yes.
can
Can
you
you
hear
hear me?
us? Yes, yes. So I think we'll take this as the last
Oh,
question. So let me just read it because I can see it in full. So greetings. I'm enjoying the data conversation. A quick one. What is the role of data in an industry or market that is saturated? For instance, we have websites being created from as low as 5,000 per website. Others are charging north of 100,000. What is the role of data in determining the market to serve? Should one undercharge to attract more, or what do you think of that?
Sorry.
Uh,
hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we
yes, you
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
My internet is bad.
Hello.
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 Yes, please come again. I missed some of the important parts. My network keeps kicking me out.
Okay, sorry. Let me just ask the last one so that we can close. Um, Mr. Njagi is asking, is saying, I'm enjoying the conversation. It has a quick question. What is the role of data in a saturated market that is saturated? Sorry. For instance, we have websites being created from as low as 5,000 per website. Others are charging 100,000. What is the role of data in determining the market to serve? Should one undercharge, or what should the approach be like? Boom, we lost again. So I think I can take that one. Maybe you can also compliment Florence. So I
Okay.
mean, when it comes to the market you're serving, it's good to do a bit of research with them, and I think it also begs a lot when it comes to your audience targeting and understanding how your business has been running. So, for instance, if you have been targeting high net worth clientele, then it will not make sense to charge a website of 5,000. And also, you can back up also that with doing a bit of research on background data to see how does your market operate. For example, if you're creating an e-commerce website, there's no way you're going to charge 5,000 because one, even if you look at even if you do a bit of research, you realize these websites, to create them, you need a lot of time, you need a lot of there's a lot of uh, background things that you need to do in order to have a proper website. So you need to do a lot of data background checks too in order to have an informed decision. So I have never believed in charging less to attract more, because you're charging less to attract more, then what? Then it gives you a lot of I don't have a good word to use, but it's never the best approach. It's good to charge your customers based on the value you're giving them, and also based on some of the background backup that you have as an individual.
Yes, I think that those are some very good points. And also, I know it's tempting most of the time because you feel like maybe if you go cheaper, you'll get more, but it's not always the best approach. And some of the data that you need to analyze is before you even build that website, you have to understand the industry for which you are building it. Is it in communication? Is it in translation, like we are? Then you have to have a different approach. So you have to analyze the data of competitors. You have to analyze what people who have what companies that have likeness to your own for which you're building a website, kind of what is their approach, what are their websites all about, what is the information contained in these websites. So you cannot charge lower. Each is you have a package for every kind of person because they have specific needs, and you will now need to optimize that website. So sometimes, okay, I say it like this. You said something, Don, about not having the right word to use, but I would say there's a reason why a Vitz and a Mercedes are not the same price. So if you're going to build a big website with e-commerce integration, it's not going to be the same as maybe a small shop that has a website. So
Yeah.
charging less may not be the best approach. You really have to kind of analyze. That is where that is where analytical thinking comes in. I believe you have to really analyze and see what kind of a website are you building, and you do something we call sentiment analysis on the audience for whom you are creating the website. Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Keleto, are you back? Keleto, can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Let me just ask the last question. I think it's like the last one. Maybe you can answer it within 30 seconds. So I don't know. This is Thomas asking, hello everyone. I don't know if this was addressed, but I want to inquire what advice you'll give to someone who wants to break into data science. I'm passionate about data science could be used to I'm passionate about data science could be used to address crucial business problem. However, with a self-directed route to reach this, I find it difficult to navigate how exactly it can be used. For context, I'm a recent CS and math graduate. I don't know what CS means. And I
Computer
want to
science.
enter
Computer science.
computer science and math, or in small letters it looks a bit. And I want to enter the data science field.
Please continue. Right. Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's more of how can he break in and get into data science.
Like so you
Yes.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So, for Thomas, I would just for the short of it, I would advise, because now you have computer science, don't just focus on tools like Python, SQL, or machine learning, but I'll also start with developing the analytical thinking aspect of it. So you should start with the problems, maybe in the industry that you want to focus on, because or any other industry that it's of interest to you. Um, you, you can start with asking questions like, what are the biggest decisions being made here, and then you can use the data to answer those questions. And then from when you have identified those questions, you can build small, real projects that show business thinking. But don't focus on, I'm able to build a model. Remember that anyone can do now with AI present, but remember, put it into or reframe it into what problem were you solving, and what data did you use? Was it relevant, and what decision would this influence? And then later on, learn to translate that data into decisions. um because if you look at it, companies don't just hire data scientists to build models. Like I said, now we have AI for that. I think anyone who's sitting out there can just challenge AI to build a model for them. But they hire data scientists for revenue increase, for risk reduction, also for customer experience, to improve customer experience. So to become a data scientist, you need to develop that minute set of skills that will enable you to connect data to impact. So if you can show that you understand how data drives decisions, I don't think you can struggle to enter the field. Um, and and I believe you'll stand out in it.
Okay. Just a moment, John. Thank you, Kevin, for that. And I see Masili agreeing that using competitive pricing in saturated markets can be a losing battle. So here data will help you segment something maybe for different markets and find which best suits you. So
Mm,
yes, I thank you for that, Masili, for that comment. Thank you, Kengetso, for the guidance on that.
yeah, I think that's proper.
Okay, thank you.
So I think we are done. We are just on top of the hour with eight. We exceeded by 8 minutes, but I want to say that has been a very interesting topic to handle, despite the few challenges in terms of our
Hello.
speakers network. Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, just allow me to wrap up. Then I'm sure we'll do this again, probably in another part two of this, so that we can have it more. We can have more questions, because I can see people are still asking questions, and we might just have to redo it again some other time, so that no one feels left out. So thank you so much, Florence, for taking us through, and also thank you so much, Ikeleto, for taking your time. It's been really, really amazing for the nuggets and wisdom, knowledge. I'm sure some of us here have learned one or two things that we're going to take we're going to implement. So we do this each and every Thursday. We have these sessions for just impacting knowledge into small business owners, marketers, and young professionals on digital skills that they need to leverage on to scale, either career wise or business wise. So, without, we have to end it there, and bye bye. Remember to follow us using you can join our WhatsApp community using the QR code on your screen, and you'll get more updates on our following sessions. Thank you, everyone, and bye bye for today.
Thank you.